Good evening to the very special edition of Globe TV 24/7. Today we are here to discuss the very controversial Land Acquisition Bill, the draft of which will be available in the public domain. Now, to summarize a few salient features of the bill, this is the first time that the government will be acquiring land for the private companies. But remember, this is a big clause that 80% of the displaced landowners have to support for the acquisition to take place. On the other hand, the acquisition has to take place in public interest and satisfy the definition of the public purpose. Also, there are big compensation packages involved, like 6 times the value of the registered land in the rural areas and twice the value of the registered land in the urban areas is what will be provided as compensation. Now, let's hear the views of the Minister of Rural Development on the Land Act.
Firstly, the bill makes the rehabilitation legally enforceable, and this was not the case in the previous bills as tabled in 2006. And secondly, the government recognizes the fact that the farmers require ongoing support. Lastly, the government is committed to minimize the displacement of the farmers, and it leads to a more transparent process. And I believe that if we can get this through, we can find a more realistic solution to the farmers and without starting the economic development. So, to summarize, this bill is not pro-farmers or it is not pro-industry, but it is pro-India.
Well, now that we've heard the views of the Minister of Rural Development, let's hear the views from the industry and see whether they like this bill or not.
The industry is very happy and would like to commend the Minister on the new draft land acquisition bill. It definitely makes the process a lot more easier, more transparent, and helps to depoliticize the process. We're also very happy that the bill now allows the government to acquire land for us for any project that broadly satisfies the definition of public purpose. However, there are a few issues that actually hurt our pockets, our business a lot. For instance, if we need to acquire more than 100 acres of land, we need to pay through our noses for rehabilitation. 100 acres is what I have for my private parking lot. And then we need to pay something like 6 times the market value to acquire land in rural areas. So largely we feel the bill is anti-industry and needs a lot of reworking. But we at Signature Beverages are quite confident that we can now commence acquisition for our beer factory and start serving the public good as soon as possible.
Well, those were Mr. Malla's views from the industry. Now let's hear the views of the social activists and the representatives of the farmers.
The bill is highly distorted. It is made by industry for industry. What about the affected people? There is some complex method to calculate compensation value. How will a farmer or a tribal person know about it? How will a farmer negotiate with private players? This bill should be made by those farmers who have been tilling the land for the past 2000 years. But in reality, this bill has been made by those people who sit in air-conditioned offices in Delhi, who know nothing about farming, absolutely nothing. This bill should be scrapped completely.
And finally, we shall now hear the views of that group of people who are most affected by this bill, the farm.
सरकार आपकी ज़मीन ले रही है, आपके क्या विचार है इसके ऊपर?
ऐसे कैसे ले लेगी सरकार? खून पसीने सिंचा इस ज़मीन को, जान दे देंगे, ज़मीन नहीं देंगे।
पर मेहनत राम जी, सरकार आपको पैसे दे रही है, वो भी काफ़ी।
पैसे मुझे दे रही है, मेरे बेटे पोते क्या करेंगे? भूखे मरेंगे, 7 पीढ़ी तो गाली देंगे मुझे मेरे बेटे पोते।
पर सरकार आपको 20 साल तक 3000 रुपए भी तो दे रही है ना?
लेकिन सरकार 20 साल बाद मेरी ज़मीन वापस तो नहीं देगी ना?
पर आप इस पैसे से कोई नया काम, कोई नया कारोबार भी तो कर सकते हैं।
भाई अभी तक अनाज ही पैदा किया है, अनाज ही पैदा करना आता है, अब इस उम्र में क्या करेंगे उसके अलावा?
मेरे देश की धरती